Hi, Frank Bonkowski here to welcome you to a world where anything is possible. So, in today's brief tutorial, I want to introduce you to a debating project for upper level ESL learners that I use as an end of term project, an end of term multi level activity with my learners. With built-in, as I see here, built-in speaking evaluation and also built-in writing evaluation. So it's a really neat project that I've been using for several years and really gets the students' juices flowing. So let's go and have a peek into my online course where I provide all the texts and the activities and the videos and the blog posts, the speaking instructions and the writing instructions that are available online. So let's have a quick look at the debate overview, to debate project overview, where its purpose is to participate. Students participate in a debate, arguing for or against a particular issue, and the issues I've laid out for them because it's in the past I've let it open to any issue, but I've focused on 7 issues, and I'll explain that reason later. So the issues, and they're very powerful, controversial issues that are, in a sense, topical all the time: abortion, climate change, animal rights, body image, feminism, immigration, and internet censorship. And the students work in groups of 4 to take part in the debate. They get to choose one of the issues. There's a period where students have to negotiate who would choose what particular issue, and then they decide within that group of 4. They break into 2 subgroups. Students 1A and 1B who take a for position, and A1 and A2 take a for position, and B1 and B2 take an against position. And I send them off to lectures that I've prepared on thinking critically, and also looking at the debate model, because I introduce students to a kind of format for the debate. And as you see here, there are a number of activities: the debate model practice. We send them to a blog post. How to write a claim. This is very interesting. Very important to show students how to write a claim or thesis statement. And I've shared an excellent blog post that my colleague at Huntsic College, Nick Walker, wrote that clearly explains how to write a thesis statement. It's not as easy as students think. The students also have to research 3 sources of information, either a video or an article online, and they have to write notes. They have to actually take notes about their reading and their listening. And I've also shared that students would have practiced note-taking, kinds of note-taking guidelines. They have to build a vocabulary list, and the VWT here stands for the Virtual Writing Tutor, and they can use within the Virtual Writing Tutor an outliner to plan their debating points, which is very useful. And the keen students actually do this, and it helps them to succeed in the activity. Here are the speaking instructions. I'll look at them very carefully. As I mentioned, there are an A1 and A2 who take a for position. There's a B1 and B2 who take an against position. And it's a very carefully timed activity that I follow closely with a stopwatch. And students are clearly explain that they have to talk a certain amount of time here, 6:30 and a maximum of 8 minutes each, because it is a final speaking assignment for upper level students at the college where I teach. And here's the procedure. It's a very clearly laid out procedure where each student has to present an opening statement with the timeline here. They have to prepare a rebuttal or counter argument within a very specific time frame, each student. And then each student has to come up with a closing statement to wrap up what they've been arguing about. And that, I must say, is probably the most challenging part of this is the closing statement. Here are the writing instructions, where students have to write up to between 450 and 750 words in a 5-paragraph argument essay, and I work in conjunction, students work in conjunction with the virtual writing tutor, which I'll show afterwards. And I lay out for them very carefully the paragraph organization and what should be included in each paragraph. These are, of course, second language, in some cases first language learners, but primarily students who are second language. So they need, even though they're upper level students, they need clear instructions on what to do in the introduction, having an opening statement, establishing the context using particular phrases, and also stating the thesis about the topic they have chosen. Their information about the first paragraph, which is the supporting argument, using a topic sentence, very important, using terms related to argumentation, providing evidence, which is so important, and using terms that they can actually practice to use, using quotation marks, citing sources within the text, so they can avoid plagiarism, which is an important issue in writing these days, and then examples to use vocabulary to show support. Similar pattern in paragraph 3, and then finally in paragraph 4 there is a counter argument, because they've prepared the argument for a position, but they should also be aware of, good critical thinkers are aware of counter arguments, and so they've been practicing that. And then there's a conclusion where they have to reformulate the thesis and make them a recommendation and a prediction. And then finally they have to cite their works, at least 3 sources of information. And as I mentioned, they work in connection with what's called the virtual writing tutor. So if we go into the virtual writing tutor, they actually have to post their writing, or they can write it in the virtual writing tutor. And if I click here on essay tests and I go to argument essay here, and then I start the argument essay, and here again we see the instructions listed, the criteria listed in the virtual writing tutor, and then here they would type in their actual text, or they could upload it if they're working in Word, for example. So that in a nutshell is the debating activity, and as I say, it works really well with upper level students as a end of let me go back here, as an end of term assignment, and with very precise speaking instructions for summative evaluation and writing instructions for writing evaluation. So if you have any questions and you'd like to have access to this, please let me know at my email, frank@frankbunkovsky.com. Thanks for watching. Bye now.